Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here's another deck profile for you guys today. This time it's actually a deck I haven't visited in ages. I think the last time I did Harpies was probably last summer. I really can't remember. So anyway, I figured now is a good time as any to start updating it and just get it ready for MR5, because once MR5 comes around, I think this is going to be a viable rogue option considering how well it can spam rank 4s. And yeah, it's not a bad deck to pick up now. If anything, like I say, get it now before it gets even more expensive, because some of the cards have only had like one printing. For example, Harpie Perfumer, as you can see, it's only had like the one printing, so definitely try to pick those up while they're still kind of cheap. But anyway, I finally got my third copy, and I figured, why not just update the deck entirely? Alright, so let's go and get started. Main deck's 40 cards, and I think you'll find the tech option I decided to throw in is pretty nice. So starting off with 3 copies of Harpie Perfumer. Definitely one of the best starters. This, like every other Harpie, becomes Harpie Lady while it's on the field or in the grave. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can add a spell that lists Harpie Lady sisters in its text. And if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, when this effect is activated, you can actually add 2 cards. So like you can definitely add you could add dang it, I just literally lost my track. Harpie's Feather Rest. You can add Harpie's Hunting Ground. Luring Mirror Split. There's a lot of options there for you. So like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Next up, you're gonna run 3 copies of Harpie Channeler. This is one of your main normal summons of the deck, actually. So you discard a Harpie card, and again, any Harpie card. Special summon a Harpie monster from your deck and face up defense, except itself naturally. But while you control a dragon monster, this card's level becomes 7. So like if you summon out a Harpie's Pet Dragon, you can go into a rank 7 play. And yeah, that's generally it. But generally you either go for the dragon or any of your other Harpie monsters just to get another effect going. Next, 3 Harpist. So this card has 2 different effects. If it's normal summon, you can target 1 wing beast monster you control, other than itself, and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, return them to the hand. So she bounces, but only when this card is normal summon. During the end phase, if this card is in the grave because it was sent there this turn, you can add a level 4 Wing Beast type monster with 1500 or less attack points from your deck to your hand. So it's a good searcher, and it's also a nice way just to bounce back your opponent's monsters if you really need to go that route. 2 Queen searches out your Harpie's Hunting Ground. Nothing said about it, and it's also a 1900 beat stick, so it's actually got some pretty good attack. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Harpie Lady 1. Just because, it's generally the same as Harpie Lady, only gives your all wind monsters 300 extra attack points. So a little bit of a power boost isn't bad. So if you happen to get 2 of these out, it's pretty nice. 1 Cyber Harpie. Hard to believe even the common is like a little pricey. I think it's like $5 or $6. So yeah, it's nuts. Got 1 Dancer, just to get an additional normal summon of a Harpie. So Harpie Dancer definitely needed. 1 Harpie Oracle. So this card is similar to the Harpie Perfumer card. If you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a spell from your graveyard to your hand, as long as it lists Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. But it only does that during the end phase, so you just gotta watch out for that. So yeah, it's not a bad extender piece. But it's only a one of. For the last of my one ofs, I'm running Harpie Lady Sisters naturally, and Harpie's Pet Dragon. Wouldn't be a Harpie deck without it, so figured why not. Alright, so let's move those out of the way. For hand traps, I'm actually only running 4. I'm just running 2 Ash, just so you can have some extra disruption, and 2 Effect Veiler. Well, technically I'm running 7 if you count Harpie's Featherstorm, since, but we'll get to that later. Alright, so now we're moving on to spells. Starting off with the spells, I've actually found that this card is very excellent in this deck, especially if you're going first and you just want to link climb and just essentially get like as many rank 4s out as possible. Ties of the Brethren. So Ties of the Brethren, like I said, is actually a really nice card going first, and it also works pretty well going second, but you just got to be careful with it. But you pay 2,000 life points, target 1 level 4 monster naturally, and then you can special summon 2 other monsters of the same type and attribute, but with different names from each other. And the only good thing about this card is that since, all the Harpie monsters only count as Harpie Lady while they're on the field and the grave, so that means you can special summon 2 other types of Harpie monsters, since their names are going to be completely different before they get summoned out to the field. So Ties of the Brethren is definitely not a bad tech to try out. Just see what you guys think. Just keep in mind you can't summon 2 Harpie Lady ones at the same time this way. So just gotta watch out for it. Next, 3 copies of Hysteric Sign. That's basically the way you search out Elegant Egotist and you recur Elegant Egotist. Another nice thing about this card is that once it's popped, you can add up to 3 Harpie cards with different names from your deck to your hand. So you just have to get it into the grave as quickly as you can, and so that way this effect can trigger off during the end phase. So that's pretty nice. 2 Harpies Hunting Ground, just a good way to pop back row, and also gives your Harpie monsters a power boost too. So it definitely comes in handy against the control decks. I'm playing 2 copies of Alluring Mirror Split. So if you can, when a Harpie Lady or Harpie Lady Sisters you control is destroyed by battle, you can special summon 1 Harpie monster from your deck with a different original name than the destroyed monster. And if this card is destroyed by a Harpie card's effect, or your opponent's card effect, you can target 1 Harpie monster in your grave, special summon it. So it's a good way to also extend, and the fact that it just helps you bring out your Harpie monsters faster. I'm only running 1 Elegant Egotist, only because it's searchable and it's recurable, so yeah, that's the only reason why I'm only running the 1. You could run a playset if you wanted to, but I felt like 1 was more than enough. Next, Harpie's Feather Rest. It's for draw power. Like if you have Harpie Lady and Harpie Lady Sisters in grave, you can shuffle them to the deck and draw 1 card. And if you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster, when this is activated, you can draw 2 cards. So it's pretty nice. And of course, the only restriction is that you can only summon wind monsters for the duration of the turn, but the entire deck is pretty much wind, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. I'm also running Double or Nothing just because, I'm running the Utopia package just for funsies, and it's a really good way to OTK. So that's pretty much it for my spells. Now we're moving on to traps. Alright, for traps, I'm running the actually standard lineup. 3 copies of Harpie's Featherstorm. So this is technically a hand trap. If you control a Harpie, you can activate this directly from your hand. It's a one-sided skill, mind, and soul drain on your opponent. So like whenever you can chain this anytime they try to hand trap you, and Harpie's Featherstorm will just basically cancel out all monster effects on his side of the field for the duration of the turn. So definitely a busted card. It sucks it's not really searchable. I mean, if you want to run Trap Trick, that'd be the best way to do it, but you generally want to activate this from your hand. 1 Harpie Lady Elegance. You shuffle a Harpie Lady Sisters from your main monster zone into the deck. Then special summon 3 Harpie monsters of different original names from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Well, 1 of each from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And after it resolves, you can't special summon any monsters except wind, but again, not a problem. And if you control, if this card is destroyed by a Harpie card's effect or your opponent's effect, you can add 1 Harpie monster from your deck to your hand. So it has 2 different benefits. Depending on the situation, will determine like how you want to use this card. So just be mindful on how it's played. And then lastly, 1 Hysteric Party. I felt like 1 was more than enough, only because you're going to be able to bring out a lot of Harpies fairly effectively anyway with Ties of the Brethren, so you should be just fine. And yeah, that's it. Alright, so that's it for the main deck. Now we're moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck's pretty fun. I'm running 2 copies of Harpie Conductor. She's protection for your Harpies, and she also has free spot removal, so if you can bounce back 1 of your Harpie monsters just to bounce back 1 of your opponent's monsters. So definitely a good way just to avoid like non-destruct, or just like to do a non-destruction removal in case you have to deal with a monster that can't be destroyed by card effects. I'm running Firefighting Daruma Doll. So this card gains 100 attack points for each beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster on the field. Once per turn, you can target 1 spell and trap on each field, destroy them. And when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target 1 of your beast warrior, or winged beast monsters that is banished or in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. So he's also good for recursion. And considering that you're running so many winged beast monsters, he could get pretty high on his attack strength, so just be mindful of that. Next, I'm running 1 Wind, the Wind Charmer Verdante. Just, it's basically the same card as Hita, only she focuses on wind monsters, so that's the only reason to run it. I was going to run Great Fly, so yeah, pretty standard. And the only link 4 I'm running is Unchained Abomination. So I did explain what this card does on your on the Paleozoic deck. So he pops cards like crazy. He can do like up to 3 pops in 1 turn. So, and considering that the Harpies do a lot of popping too, yeah, you can really like just clear up boards very easily with this card. So that's why I'm decided to run him. Alright, so now we're moving on to my Xyz monsters. I'm running, of course, the whole Utopia package. Utopia Double to get that Double or Nothing. Utopia, and Utopia the Lightning, just in case if I need to bring him out instead. Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. This card can attack directly, and this card cannot be targeted. As long as this card is out, your opponent can't target any Harpie monsters with effects or for attacks. So, like, as long as this card is out, yeah, it's just a brick wall, and your opponent's going to have to deal with, like, potentially up to 3 turns of direct damage. But during the end phase, you have to detach 1 Xyz material from this card. So, and the only downside about him is that he requires 3 level 4 wind monsters to summon it. So, but again, that's the whole point of Ties of the Brethren, just to be able to bring this card out as fast as I possibly can. Got Tornado Dragon for more back removal. Lightning Chidori, pretty much the same deal too. Abyss Dweller, and for my only rank 7s, I'm running Big Eye. It's Mind Control, and Harmonizer Gadriel. I've explained what this card does before, so look into it, just see what you guys think, and yeah. Alright, so for the extra deck, it's pretty standard. I'm still running Nibiru in this. Well, I am running Nibiru now because combo decks are still a thing right now, and I don't think this card's going to go away. 3 lands, yeah. This actually works very well against Heroes and Orcus. I know Orcus is going to have to play a more awkward strategy, but still got to be mindful for that. Dark Ruler no more, just deal with if I'm forced to go second and I happen to go against a full combo deck, and they bring out those massive boards, Dark Ruler no more will definitely help you out. Hey, Trunade, definitely an amazing side card this format, especially against like back row heavy strategies. It forces them to respond and just keeps the hand advantage going. So, yeah. And this one is kind of iffy. Goes in match. I think it's going to be a little bit better this format now, but especially because after the ban list, due to how many people or how many decks got hit. So, and like there's a lot of decks that have different attributes. So, goes in match just might be the right floodgate to run this format. So, we'll just have to wait and see how it develops. And if it doesn't work out, I'll probably switch out with evenly matched. So, yeah. Alright, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and just stay tuned for the combo video, and I'll see you guys till then.